Do it today and help save lives.
All right, Rhonda. So talk to me a little bit about how we got to this point today. You know, I talked to you earlier, and you said that a lot of thought went into reaching out to us. Tell me about that prayer that you did this morning.
I've been praying for the last couple of days since this happened, and this morning I was laying in the bed and I said a prayer. And I asked God to tell me what can I do personally to help in this situation. And I heard that I need to make a cry out to the public to find him, God, find him, and reach out to whomever I can reach out that will listen, that can get that word out for the family.
Talk to me about how your world completely changed on Sunday.
It has to be the worst news that someone could hear is to find out that your child has been murdered. And she's not my child, but she was like my child. It still seems so surreal. Like I'm in a matrix of sorts. Like it just doesn't feel real. And to watch her father, who is my partner, suffer. And not know what to say. I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm going to say better myself. Who called you? What happened? How did you get that news? I mean, I'm sure that's something that, like, for the rest of your life, you're never going to forget where you were, what you were doing. Who called? What exactly happened, and what did they tell you?
Her father called me, and he told me she had been murdered in her apartment. I thought he was joking. And then he started crying and screaming, and I knew he wasn't joking. And I hung up the phone, and I left work, and I came home. And her mom was here. And then we all got in the car and went to go find my other stepdaughter. And we could talk to her.
How do you find the words for that? Like, when I'm hearing you tell me about it, and I'm not in your family, I don't know you, but it feels like somebody's, like, ripping at me. Like, how do you find the words? How do you find the strength to be, with your partner, tell your other stepdaughter? How do you do it?
God's grace. I have a lot of people praying for us all over the world. I'm a member of the International Prayer Team. I'm a minister. I'm the leader of the team. And so I have everybody praying around the clock, 24/7, local ministers and ministers abroad. And it's the only thing I can think of that gives me the grace to even have the courage to sit with you to do this today. This is my plea on behalf of the whole family.
What do you want to, it took a little while, it happened, police were trying to piece together what the situation was, who they needed to zero in on, who they needed to look for. They said they were looking for Marquise Walker. They were looking for him. Mm-hmm. They are still looking for him right now. A person that took the life of someone that you love is out there.
Walking around.
Considering the fact that, you're very spiritual, like, does that still make your blood boil? Are you angry? What level? What is the feeling right now, knowing? Because I know what I would think, like, what is the thought right now?
honestly. Someone told me he was thinking about committing suicide. I said, go ahead. I'm just saying. Go ahead. I'm not mad. Do it. You took my daughter's life. Justice for Jordan. This is how I look at it. By any means necessary.
What do you want to say to him? He's communicating with people on Facebook. He's out there still able to enjoy the things that you guys will not be able to enjoy now because Jordan's not with you, that she won't be able to enjoy. What do you, if you could, say anything to them, and you thought he would hear it, what would it be? You can tell him how pissed you are that he has changed your life. He did it.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you take her from us? You are a low-down coward. Less than a man. Be a man and turn yourself in. That's what I want you to do. And for anyone watching, if you see him, please.
I know this is tough.
That's not love. Love doesn't do what you did to her. You don't love her. We love her. Her family and her friends. We love her. Not you. Not you. You are a coward to do that. And you say you loved her. That's not love. Sorry, that's not love. We love her.
I mean, how are you guys going to keep Jordan's legacy and her memory alive now? Like, that's, you know, justice for Jordan, that's number one.
That's right.
And then number two is making sure that she didn't leave here in vain.
That's
She's
right.
still as precious to you today as
Yes.
she was Saturday,
That's right.
Friday, a year ago, 2 years ago. What do people need to know about that beautiful girl? She was gorgeous.
She
It
is.
looked like she had an amazing personality.
She did.
I saw people commenting, you know, on our Facebook page, saying all kinds of things about her. What do we need to know about her? I mean, this is a terrible story. This is heartbreaking. Well, we don't want that to overshadow
Right.
who
Who she was. Yeah.
who was she?
Jordan, I called her my little love bug. Because she was. You know, I could tell you story after story after story about just how gentle and kind and sweet. I've been saying, you know, she picked the right field. She was an SCNA. And she had to know the best one ever walking the planet. She genuinely cared about people. And loved all, loved all animals. Loved his family. And loved everybody she knew. She had a gigantic heart. I remember she called me a couple weeks ago and said she was at work singing, and her patient asked her, was she sick? And she and I laughed about it. I said, well, were you sick? She said, no, I'm not sick. I said, well, you must sound like you were sick. Maybe don't quit your day job. Yeah, you keep caring for people. She said, that's not right, Blanca. But she, you know, I can just remember time after time after time her pouring her heart out on Sunday night. I'm gonna make it personal right now. I lost someone who loved me. The first person I ever lost who loved me. You try to wrap your mind around that. And her father continually asked, what do we do from here? How did he go? That was a baby girl. How did he go? This is who this is about. This is our family. I sit here in representation of the family. What do we do from here? She will be a star seated at the center of our heart, forevermore, shining bright. And when you see us, and you see a brightness, it's her shining glory, her love, her peace, her kindness, and she loves the Lord. She loves the Lord. She would often send me text messages with scriptures because she knows I'm a minister, and she would ask me to decode the scripture, and I'd tell her what it meant. And she's very precious soul. Very precious soul, sorely missed by many. I represent all of us. Not just, this isn't about me. This is about justice for Jordan.
I think it says so much about her that this terrible thing happened. And we have been through probably every emotion that you can sitting here in this 10 minutes ago. But when you talk about her, I don't see your tears anymore. Like your eyes are lighting up talking about her. I think that's amazing.
She's amazing. I had a surgery a few months back. And when I came home from the hospital, you know, she called me every single day that I was home recovering. And there were several weeks. And even after I went back to work, she called me every single day. How you doing, boo? What you doing? That was her famous tagline. And I just been, you know, just talking to her father about the memories of her, that the footprints she left in my heart, personally. And I know she wasn't my daughter. I don't have children. But you know what? In my heart, she was my daughter. She was, and nobody can take that from me. I have a right to feel what I feel.
Yeah, she is.
And she was my child, too.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say to her? What would you want to tell her? I mean, justice is coming. I feel that. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know. But it's coming. What would you want to tell your baby girl?
We love you. We love all. Your memories will be the motivation for everything we do from this point forward. We will honor you with our lives. We will honor you with the way we live. We will honor you with the way we treat one another. We will treat each other with the love like you treated everybody that you knew. That's what I would say to her. I will carry your legacy on with that.
So what have you been told about what happened? They're not very many details. Was this person her boyfriend?
He was her ex-boyfriend. She had broken up with him more than a month ago. But he wouldn't leave her alone.
Did that worry you? Did that trouble you? Did you ever, I mean, I'm sure nobody ever thinks anything like this is gonna happen,
Right.
but were you worried about her, or is this something that kind of like literally came out of left field? Like nobody imagines anything like this.
No, you don't want to imagine anything like this happening to anyone, much less your child. You don't want to imagine that. We were proud of her that she was able to dissolve this relationship. But we were really caught off guard by the ending of the relationship. That industry is just disgusting. You can't force someone to do what they don't want to do. And that's her father wanted me to convey that message to other young ladies out there. Because Jordan's life, it will not be in vain. We wanted to know about Karen. Her life will not be in vain. We will be a presence in the community for other young ladies out there going through something similar. You gotta find a way out. Take it serious if he threatens you. Parents, if you see this, help your child. Don't just think it's an idle threat, because it could be your child. You could be sitting around there.
Have you threatened her before? Like, do you know what, I don't know if anybody knows, but do you know what happened? Like, people, I was there, this happened Sunday night, so on Monday, in the morning, I went over there, and I was like walking around talking to people. Someone that lives underneath her.
Right.
Said that, you know, they heard an argument.
Right.
Then they heard when they were shot.
Right.
And then someone else told me that they heard something about it sounding like somebody was kicking her door. So I walked around and they had her building, there was like a mat there. So it was open. So I went in and I walked up there and I looked. And it looked like the door was locked up.
Yeah.
It did look like that.
Yeah.
But have they told you?
No one has told us, no one has given us any specific details about anything relative to what actually happened. All we're doing as a family is just piecing together what we hear from this one, from that one, from this one, you know, and try to make some sense of it for ourselves. We have a lot of unanswered questions, obviously, and they're being not forthright with telling us anything about what really happened, you know. So I really don't know. You know, my whole purpose in this conversation, the bottom line, is to make my plea to anyone watching. If you know his whereabouts, Marcus Walker, Marquise Walker, whatever his name is, because his name don't mean anything to me. I'm just going to be honest with you. But if you know where he is, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you from the bottom of my heart. Please, don't be afraid. Call and tell the police. If you're afraid, call somebody else and tell them to call. He needs to be apprehended today. Period. It's been too long. 2 days is too long. We need to know that he's off the streets and he can't harm somebody else.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to add? I know that was rough.
You know what's even rougher? Is to turn the news on and hear that it's happened to someone. I put a call into the mayor's desk. I'm waiting on that call back. I put a call into the deputy mayor. I'm waiting on the call back. I'm going to put in a whole lot more calls in. Somebody I want to call me back. Not just for a conversation. We need help finding him, and we also need help to make arrangements for her. We need financial help right now, desperately, to put on a service for her. We don't have the means.
I hear that you set up a fund or
We
something?
do have a memorial fund. It's set up at Fifth Third Bank under the name of Jordan Jones. And we are crying out, we need help, please. Anyone, if you can find it in your heart and you have the means to help, we're asking, can you please help give her a decent service in her memory? And that's please, from one heart to another heart, from one mother to another. You don't always have to give birth to someone for them to be your child. And that's how I feel about it. And my sister. And her brother. They have me. They're like my kids, too. And I'm just crying out to anybody who will listen and please help us. Help us help another young lady out there. That's what it comes to. Do something about this crime.